All right, let's make this as quick and painless as possible. Most of you will know how this works, but for those of you who don't, let me run through a brief summary of what this is about. I preach for a small house church here in Tucson, and what started out as a hobby now has become a means by which I make tents. I support my own ministry by those who are kind and generous enough to purchase them. So here's the routine. I'll hold these pieces up, these different pieces, in no particular order except at the end, and I'll explain that. I'll give them a number. If you like a piece or pieces and would like to buy them, then you take a note of the number and you let me know, and I'll contact you through Messenger or Facebook or email or however you want to contact me. If you're watching through Facebook or YouTube, then I'll comment below which number. In the first comment box below, I'll mention which numbers have already been taken so that you can check if you look later in the day, you want to see if the one you like has already been taken. So you note the number and then you let me know, and then I'll contact you with regard to payment and shipping and your address, etc. You can pay through Venmo, PayPal, check, I don't care. You can send it in a donkey if you want. The price is pretty easy. I need to cover shipping and packaging, and that averages out around $20 per piece. So $20 per piece, and then you send a donation to my ministry. So that's it. You cover shipping and packaging, and then a donation on top of that. Now, I have to deal with this because so many people talk to me about it. They say that if I leave what people pay for these pieces up to people and don't put a price on it, then I might get ripped off. In my experience, that's not what happens. In fact, the opposite is usually what happens. People have been very generous. So those who are worried about me, don't worry about that. There's only one piece in here that I might put a price on, and I don't even know if I'm going to sell it. I'll show you at the end of it. I'll show you it at the end. But as I said, I don't even know if I'm going to sell that piece yet. And so that's it. Take a note of the number, contact me. I'll get back to you with regard to address and payment. You cover shipping, $20, plus a donation to the ministry. And that's it. So let's go. Here we go. Number one. This is the piece of wood. You might think that's a gloss. It's not. It's the sun that does this. That's the normal color of the wood. I don't know the name of the wood. This is a beautiful piece of wood that I found ages ago. And I discovered that if you leave it in the sun, it turns red. And I took this one off early. I'll show you others like this, for example, that sat out in the sun a whole lot longer, as you can tell. But I liked the look of this when I saw it. Just the soft shade of red. Number one. I might as well do this one as number two now that you've saw it. The pieces are usually either a cross or 3 nails, the purpose of which is obvious. The cross is empty and the nails are discarded. He needs them no more. The victory has been won. But these are 3 mesquite nails, and it's on that wood again that turns red in the sun. Number 3, this is a tree that I found a while back. I don't know what type of wood it is, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure you'll agree. I have been very fortunate in the past few months to find wood that is extraordinary. This is number 4. Again, it's on a base of mesquite. It's a burl. Some of you don't know what a burl is. A burl is a growth that's found on a tree, whereas if you sand it all down, it becomes beautiful like this. trying to keep it in focus for you. Number 5, I noticed Sarah, when she was washing her hands at the sink upstairs, would always put her rings on the countertop, and I thought there should be something nice, like a little bowl where women could place their rings. So this is what I come up with, a little bowl. This is white oak, and this is, you'll see it later on in the exceptional pieces. This is a dark wood that I only get once every 5 years or so. I can barely find it, but as you can see, it's absolutely strikingly beautiful. But the idea of the rings, I could have just made a bowl, but I like the idea of putting our wedding rings below the cross as symbolic as to the most precious things in life still sit beneath the shadow of the cross. This is the same wood as number 3, except with this one I decided to leave the bark of the tree on if I could, just to give it even more of a contrast. I'm so fortunate to have found this tree because, as you can tell, it's absolutely beautiful. And I have upped my game, I hope you realize. I think I've upped my game, maybe you'll disagree, but I think I have. Anyway, that's number 6. Number 7, another 3 nail, except it's that wood that turns red, but it's that beautiful tree that I found. It's not mesquite this time, so that's how it differs from the other one. This is number 8. It's the largest of all the crosses. I think it's mesquite. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's mesquite. And I particularly like the grain. Number 9. And there's 2 mesquite nails with that other kind of nail in the middle. Thought it would be nice to mix them. Number 10, the 3 nails are the wood that turns red in the sun, so I made them and then left them, and they sit on a white oak chunk, I guess you could call it. But I tried to keep it so that you could see the rings particularly coming out from the middle of the tree. Number 11, a little artsy one. I scuffed it, as you can see, to give it a scuffed effect really. And it's mesquite wood also. Number 12, 3 nails again. I believe these are oak, white oak nails on mesquite again, a mesquite burl. Number 13, again, it's mesquite. Number 14, a little bendy one that I particularly like the grain. And all these crosses, I believe all of them will stand on their own, except perhaps, no, I think they all will stand on their own. Number 15, there are a couple of other crosses with bowls on the way among what I consider to be exceptional pieces. I'll explain when they come. But I wanted to leave this one. I wanted to do this to all of them actually, to leave it scuffed, but it looks unprofessional. And people might think, why didn't he just smooth that out? So I guess a little bit of pride got in my way, but I at least wanted to do one to really make the point that the marriages down here, well, they're meant to be scuffed. It's the marriages up there that is perfect. So if you get this, there's a reason why it's scuffed. Anyway, and that beautiful wood again, and I managed to get a piece with the bark on it too. Number 16, another piece of mesquite. Look at the grain on that. Isn't that remarkably beautiful? And number 17, the smallest of my 3 nails collection. I believe it's white oak on mesquite again. All right, exceptional pieces. I told Sarah that it would, in order to give people an idea of the price, because most of you know the kind of work and effort that goes into these things, but if I was to price them, then these would be the more expensive ones. And I told Sarah that I would tell you that. She's awfully worried I'll get ripped off. But if I was to price them, these would be because of the quality of the wood, the rarity of the wood, the amount of time spent. So in order to help you put a better price on them, these are the ones that I would expect if I was to individually price them to get a better price, and hopefully you'll see why. So number 18, and hopefully it'll be clear to you now why I think these ones are just a little bit better than the others. And this would hang on a wall, lovely, but it does stand on its own also. Number 19, again, it's that beautiful dark wood that's, I don't know if it is rare, but I can barely find it once every 5 years. But look how beautiful that dark wood is. And then it's sitting on top of a base. It's not a bowl one, there's one of them coming. But it's just like to represent the hill. Number 20. And this is that wood that I sat out on the sun. The great thing about this piece is, of course, is because it doesn't lie flat, the sun graded it differently. So you get a lovely gradient from the color it used to be to the sun red. Number 21, this is a particular favorite of mine. This is all mesquite, and I like the idea of the cross on the hill, and using the mesquite, the outside, the wood, the pulp, the bark, and then I like this particularly because I did the same thing with the cross. I managed to get a piece of the wood to make the wood, the pulp, and the bark so that the cross, the dark, the white, the brown, dark, white, brown, is from the same tree and works the same way. Number 22, that beautiful dark wood again. And this is one of those bowls for wedding rings. The contrast between these two different types of wood, I think, is remarkable. Look at the grain on that. God does amazing work, doesn't he? Oh my goodness. Number 23, another particular favorite. Well, they're all favorites, but favorite of favorites. The dark wood, and I found a knot in white oak that the base is built off. So it's a white oak knot that the 3 nails made of that dark wood sit. Number 24, only got a few to go. Again, it's mesquite, but it was beaten up, as you can tell, so the amount of restoration and all these little holes that has to take place. But I thought it was worth saving from the fire. Number 25, a little bit like the other, except this time the nails are stacked on top of each other. Again, it's the wood that sits out in the sun and turns red from this color. A lot of people ask me why I always leave the base untouched. It's so that people can see what it used to look like before I got my hands on it. So I usually leave a little piece where I put my little enom de plume on, so that people can contrast between the start and the finish of the project. Number 26. It's hard to use so much of this rare dark wood in one piece, but I thought I would, and hopefully we'll see the value in that. But it gives you a better idea of just how beautiful that wood is. Trying to get it to focus for you. And number 27, I saved till last. The base is the wood that turns red, obviously. And then I thought I would incorporate all three into the one piece. The wood that turns red, the white oak nails, I think they're white oak, and the lovely dark wood, all in one piece. So, let me see. Yeah, it would sit like this on a shelf, kind of sideways. You can put it any way you want after you buy it. It's yours, I don't care. But that's how I would display it. Anyway. Look what God does when we sit in the presence of His Son. Makes us radiant. All right, at this point of the video, I wondered if I would be able to sell this next piece. I don't know that I am. Let me show you why. Most pieces, I would imagine, take anywhere between 3 to 6, 7 hours to make. Some of them a lot longer, some of them a little bit quicker. But this next piece, the reason I'm reluctant to let it go is because the base of it started from something like this. And then three of those to produce 3 of those to make into nails that would result in this. Hopefully you'll see why I don't want to let it go now. See the ring, the beautiful. And I just thought it would be a lovely centerpiece for a table, but we've got a lovely big table that I want it for. But I know that Sarah would prefer them to be sold, but I don't know. Let me think. Here's what I'll do. I can't just let it go in case someone... out of all the pieces, this is the only one that would hurt me if someone sent some money that I didn't think it was particularly worth. Which again rarely happens, if at all. So don't let that bug you. But here's what I'll do. If you really, really love this and must have it, you can give me an offer, because I wouldn't be able to let it go for something less than, you can imagine the work that's went into this piece. And it might be the direction I go from here on in, taking a lot longer time over a lot more woods for big central pieces. Anyway, so that's that. That's up to you now. As I said, these support my ministry. I work for a small house church, and there are a few other people who support my ministry financially. And then I do things like this to help us. So I do want to express our gratitude. We love you all very, very dearly. And if you can help out this Christmas and get some Christmases, send me the address that you want it to be sent to. Or if it's a gift, give me their address and I'll mail it to them. God richly bless you. Thank you.